Welcome to the Scribal Rose. This is Rose Morris. I hope you're doing well. I hope that this video finds you well. If you are a veteran author, or maybe you're just someone who's just curious about the process of writing a book, maybe you're someone who's always wanted to get your story out, but you're kind of just stuck, this video is for you. And by the end of this video, I hope we can get you from stuck to unstuck. And so I'll be sharing with you just a few concrete examples, giving you some ideas of what that process should look like. And hopefully by the end of this, you will find yourself running to the page and thinking, hey, I can do this. So if this is you, welcome, let's go. So the first thing that I want to address is that myth which says you have to be a writer to write a book. And I want to assure you that that is not true. There's a lot of people who feel this way, and because of that belief system, they can be very intimidated about even getting started. But let me just kind of break this down for you. You have a unique story that you alone have experienced. Now you might say, there's millions of books out here on this topic. Why is mine any different? And let's look at it this way. If two people go to an art gallery and they look at a painting inside the art gallery, for one person, they might notice that this figure in the painting has like a blue dress. But the other person might look at that painting and maybe they notice the expression on the face of the figure in the painting. And neither of these are wrong. They're both attributes of the painting, but what is different is the perspective in which they both looked at it. And so life is exactly the same way. Two people can show up in the same circumstances, the same environment, but really bring something differently out of that experiences. So the lessons that we learn, the things that stand out to us, the meanings or impressions that we sort of obtain from those experiences, that is very uniquely yours. And just think about it. There might be somebody out there who's looking for something told in the way that only you can tell it, and they're waiting on you. So that in itself gives your story meaning. Once you come to that conclusion that, hey, my story is actually worth telling, that it's valuable, that it's unique, and that it can bring something to the table that doesn't currently exist, then you have literally overcome half the battle of writer's block that's going to free you in getting that book out into the world because it deserves to be out. So this is something to remember, that you don't have to be a writer to write a book, right? I mean, you do need to have some basics of writing, but really it's more about the actual story. Because what is a book? It's just a way of containing information, okay? The second thing I want to share with you is that really voice predates the written word. Voice comes before writing. When you're writing, you're just simply finding a way to express your unique voice, right? Long before human beings wrote things down, they would actually communicate things verbally. They would tell stories. Things were orally transmitted. And we just sort of created these systems of writing in order to basically find a way to document this information. It was a way of preserving information and passing it down to the next generation. So in this modern world, we may not write on tablets anymore, but how many people have like a YouTube channel or a TikTok channel and they make a video? You know, even this video is just me telling you a story, and yet the information is being transmitted to you. And so there are so many mediums in which a story can be told. So it's not just limited to the written page. So if it's daunting you, I just want you to kind of be free from all these misconceptions and just realize that yes, you actually can do it. And once you recognize that you're the best person to tell your unique story, then you've already stepped into the next part of being a writer. So now that we've addressed, some of the issues that come up with your unique story, now we can kind of talk about just how to unlock that story and get it out of your mind onto the actual paper, right? So you may have heard of something called writer's block, and even the most veteran writers, yes, we all go through this. This is where you have a blank page in front of you, or maybe you have your laptop or your screen in front of you, and you sort of get into that zone where it's like you want to write something, but you just feel like the words are not coming. And if that's happened to you, you are not alone. And so, what I found with writer's block, it's not that there's a lack of story to tell, there's a lot you could talk about. It's usually just a lack of intentional clarity about that story. So, because we think we have to have it all together before we sit down, we start trying to think, okay, what word do I put? Sometimes we're worried that the words aren't coming out well. And when we do that, it just keeps us from actually producing the content that we want. So I have discovered a method that works with a lot of first-time writers, especially if you feel like you're stuck at the page. And this is what I call simply the voice to writing method. You know, as I mentioned, voice really predates the written word. So what I want to encourage you to do, if you have a voice recorder in your phone, or you have, some kind of device where you can record, I just want you to think about any topic. It could be your day. It could be the room that you're in. It could be your pet. Whatever that topic is, it doesn't matter. And I want you to grab that recorder and just record yourself talking for 5 minutes and then hit pause. Don't do anything else with it, And then listen to that back, because what you're going to find is there may be nuggets in there of things in your conscious thinking that really grabs your attention. And once you capture your voice, write it down, journal it, and put it away for later, okay? So that is one way that you can actually unlock the writing capability. It's just telling your story. The other thing is just to simply take a timer and just free write for 5 minutes. Do not edit, don't think about word choices, grammar, just simply get it out on the paper. There's a saying which says it's easier to edit a bad page than an unwritten one. And that simply means that you may write a page and maybe it's not that good, but if you write it, you can go back and improve it later. But if you never get started, you can't edit anything. So just start with the first sentence and then move on to sentence 2. It does not have to be a Pulitzer best-selling novel. It just has to be authentically you. So basically, recognize that your story has value. Your story is unique and it's worth being told. Don't worry about if it sounds good. Set that timer, just be intentional to write for 5 minutes straight and see what comes out. You might find out there's gold in there. And then the third thing is, if you're having difficulty with writing on the page, just grab your phone and record yourself talking and talk about anything. And so this is where I encourage most of my clients to start, is from that place. I do it all the time and I believe it's going to help you. So if this has encouraged you, check the description of this video. You're going to find a link where I'm going to have a little PDF for you. And this is just a little document that's going to help you to begin to unlock your story, figure out what you want to write, and then do the exercises. When you do it, either come back to this video, leave a comment and say, I did it, share your experiences to encourage someone else, or write me an email at melodicsub@gmail.com, melodicsub@gmail.com, and reach out and let me know how the process went, okay? I can't wait to hear your story. So thank you for listening. If you want to go a little bit more into the writing process, if you're looking for a writing coach, if you've already written your book and you're ready to get published, please reach out. I can help you. I have a lot of insight information I can share with you. Much more on this video, and let's work together, okay? So you can reach out to me at my email. Find me on social media at the Scribal Rose, and I look forward to hearing from you soon. Happy writing. Bye for now.